Edgar Hoover himself. Others have speculated it might have been one of J. Edgar Hoover's aides, but nonetheless, no doubt the FBI meant business, and it's my opinion that they made good on their threats, and they were the ones responsible for the assassination of Dr. King and others. But hey, I guess it was a matter of national security. Am I right, Larry?
Well, it's a matter of national insanity with respect to the U.S. government, and in particular, the FBI, and no doubt the CIA as well. Remember that Dr. King was on his way, was en route to, or getting ready to go specifically to, I believe it was Oslo, to receive a Nobel Peace Prize,
yep,
which he deserved, unlike this warmongering Barack Obama.
Well, I hear you. And, you know, I was just thinking about how karma has treated these guys, because here we are 50 years later, and, you know, the FBI has never really succeeded in damaging Dr. King's public record. They certainly haven't silenced him, because you and I both know that his message lives on. But in contrast, look what's happened to J. Edgar Hoover. I mean, his reputation is completely shot. Most people know what a despicable and immoral human being he was. What do you think about, what do you think is going to be the true legacy of J. Edgar Hoover?
I think the true legacy of J. Edgar Hoover, if the truth ever really comes out in totality, will be that he was excuse the harsh language, but he was a fascist pig. And he was a power-hungry, controlling freak. Unfortunately, there are still too many people who are not cognizant. They are not aware of just how despicable the tactics were that were used not only against Dr. King, but against others of us in the movement, in the struggle. And that's of all colors.
Well, and that's right, because Martin Luther King wasn't alone. You, of all people, know that. You had firsthand experience in being threatened, and like we were saying at the beginning, you were a victim of COINTELPRO. And many civil rights leaders were threatened back then. They were targeted. And now we know that we have your FBI files as well. So we know what COINTELPRO had to say about Larry Pinckney as well. And we got this information through the Freedom of Information Act, thanks to author William Mandel. And I want to read some of this. This is the FBI files on you, Larry. Pinckney is potentially dangerous due to his demonstrated ability to unify black and white. His associates are Negro, white, and Chinese. Special attention is being given to neutralizing him. The areas of sex and drugs appear to be the most effective ones to utilize. His habits in these areas are unknown, but are being monitored with this objective. So that was the official file on Larry Pinckney, obtained through the Freedom of Information Act. What on earth were you thinking when you first read this document? I can imagine what you must have been thinking at the time.
Well, disgust, pain. I mean, I still feel the pain today, but let's remember COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, is still going on. In fact, components of it have been codified into the law under the NDAA, the Patriot Act, et cetera, et cetera. And let us not forget Obama's famous or infamous kill list. So what was I thinking? I was thinking, what a shame. What shame on the ideals, the principles that this country, and I do believe many, if not most of the people in this country do believe in decent and upright ideals. So it fills me with great pain, great anger, but also with a determination to carry on, because I know these tactics have not stopped. If anything, they've simply been tweaked and carried on.
Well, yeah, and I think it has always been the intent of the United States government, as well as the globalists, to, they don't want to unite us, they want to divide us, right? And the example is right here in the FBI documents. They are saying that that's what made you such a dangerous threat to the establishment, was your ability to unify people of all color.
Right.
And really, when you think about it, times really haven't changed that much, because now look what we have in Ferguson that's going on right now. Do you think that the establishment is using Ferguson, for example, to further divide the nation, to racially divide the nation?
Of course, it is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that that is what the establishment is doing. That's the modus operandi, if you will, of the establishment. It hasn't changed. It continues to do the same thing. The only difference, which is not really different, is that we now have an articulate liar in the color of a colored man. I refuse to call him a black man, who is now the head, okay, or at least the nominal head, the figurehead, if you will, for these ongoing despicable actions that hurt everyday, ordinary black, white, brown, red, and yellow people of all colors in our nation.
Well, what do you think about the so-called the new Black Panthers and their attempts to ignite riots in Ferguson? Do you think, see, I always thought that the new Black Panthers, they remind me of an agent provocateur organization. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, my parents always said to me that the taste of the pudding, okay, the proof of the pudding, rather, is in the taste.
I hear you.
The proof of the pudding is in the taste. So all I mean is that actions, as we said in the original Black Panther Party, not to be confused with the so-called new Black Panther Party, okay, the proof of the pudding is in the taste. Where are their national programs to feed? Where are their programs, their clinic programs, national programs? Where are their programs to reach out to brothers and sisters of all colors? You know, so I have to let their own actions speak for them, all right? And their own actions, I believe, give a very, very dim view of what they claim to be about. And furthermore, as a veteran of the original Black Panther Party, I find it utterly disgusting that they would steal the name of the Black Panther Party and so many brothers and sisters of all colors, whether they were in the Black Panther Party or any other progressive, quote unquote, organizations who died, who gave their lives, like at Kent State in Ohio, like at Jackson State in Mississippi. All right, this is utterly unacceptable.
Well, thankfully, the legacy of the real Black Panther Party continues through your courageous work as well as the rest of the original alumni as the struggle continues, my friend. And all I can say was it was a pleasure to have you on the show once again, and we look forward to having you come back. Any last thoughts before we go?
I just say what we always say, and what I always say to you, my brother, is all power
to the people.
All power to the people.
All right, Larry, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much.
All right, and that guy's the real deal right there, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to point out that Dr. Martin Luther King's family, they actually won a lawsuit in 1999 proving that the United States government was responsible for his assassination. And most of us, well, we never saw it on TV because the news media never reported on it. And that's because the mainstream news media in this country, they are owned and controlled by the enemies of freedom. That's going to do it for the first half of our broadcast. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Josh Owens is going to take us on a tour with the real Freeway Ricky Ross when we come back.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At INFOWARS Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
I'm the real Rick Ross.
Today, there's a new epidemic, smokable cocaine, otherwise known as crack.
I will tell you, Director Deutsch, as a former Los Angeles police narcotics detective, that the agency has dealt drugs throughout this country for a long time.
The CIA used him as a pawn to sell drugs to help fund the secret war in Nicaragua.
Illegal cocaine is coming into our country at alarming levels.
He was a 1980s drug lord who became a multi-millionaire urban legend in Los Angeles. A rap star even stole his name and parlayed it into a music career.
I'm your neighborhood drug dealer. It's your neighborhood drug dealer.
Hey, you see Rick Ross in there? Rick Ross. The real Rick Ross.
To William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross, who's using my name, I'm inviting you in to come with me. Let's fight this culture. Let's fight this penitentiary culture that hip-hop's been spreading. Let's make a difference. Me and you need to come together and you need to tell them that you didn't make your money selling drugs. And making music is how you became famous. See, it's nothing wrong with making music, just like it's nothing wrong with being a correctional officer, if that's what you did. But so many of our friends who look up to you and look up to me are out on the streets thinking that they can go out and sell drugs and parlay that into a record career. I don't know if you know that they're not gonna make it, but I know that they're gonna wind up in prison with prison sentences 3 and 4 times what they should be, because this war on drugs is no joke. I have 10 or 11 friends still in prison right now with life sentences, including one that even you know, Big Meech. I know how much you respect me and care about me, otherwise you wouldn't have took my name. Take a chance with me now. Let's make a difference. And even if William Roberts, AKA Rick Ross, don't decide to come with me and join hands, then the rest of the artists out there, let's us come together. Professor Griff, KRS-One, and so forth. Let's join hands. Let's change this thug culture. Let's change this hip-hop to prison pipeline. Let's make it happen. Right now, today. Let's do it. And not just you, the whole hip-hop community. I'm asking all of you. Let's all of us come together. Let's change these laws right now and end this senseless war on drugs. A lot of times we go through life and we start to believe that the things that we're experiencing in our life and the things that we see in our communities are the only way it is. Like, this is the way it is. This is the way it's supposed to be. And when you start to think like that, you can get trapped in a box. Hip-hop has taken over the world. If we can take hip-hop back, we can change the whole planet. We can bring real peace and no more war. Let's be pioneers. Let's be talked about forever for how we change the way society thinks about each other. It don't have to always be a war on drugs. If we can educate ourselves to where our kids and our brothers and our sisters and our mothers and our fathers look at drugs the way we look at rat poison. You know, we just don't go around using rat poison and other chemicals that's harmful to our body. If we teach our people how to not use drugs the same way, then eventually we don't have to worry about them using drugs.
Now, you may never have heard of some of these stars, but your kids have. They're heroes to a whole new generation.